that was my bad. Alright, part 4 of sculpting the black tiger concept. Let me see. I'm gonna load this thing. A little bit of work on it offline. Nothing serious. Let's see. Hide this. Edit. There we go. It's a bit slow for some reason. Who knows? Let's see. What do we want? Probably grab the spotlight texture as well. Stick it there. There's supposed to be a way to like cut the background out, but I forgot how. Back? No, that's not it. What? No idea. I'll figure it out later. So last time I was working on the armor, trying to get it to look good. See, I think the reason it's running slow is the dynamic tit on the head. There's probably a few things running in the background as well. Apparently there's an update for ZBrush. Let's see, with the head I'll probably make sure to turn off spotlight projection. Just pull the head into the body so that it's like not just floating above it. Something like that. There we go. We'll just turn off the armor for a sec. It's all pretty messy as well. What I might do, I can get rid of this old model. Old subtool, I don't need it. That's the body, so I'm going to rename everything to be proper. This looks like tiger body. Maybe arm or chest armor front, maybe. And this one can be chest armor back. What else we got here? I call it bracer. Oh, I could call it gauntlet. What do we got here? I think this is like someone called it a van brace. What is that? Oh, and there's a, I'll just call this van brace detail because it's like the little inner bits of armor. Then once we got like this like tiger head. And tiger sideburns, tiger nose, and tiger beard. And this would be tiger eyes, I guess. What I can do here is grab some of this stuff, it's like the head, and then make it new folder. I'm just call this flesh, because it's where all the meat is, and hair. I guess hair counts. Just a little bit to organize it, and body can go down with the rest of it. Blip, in you go. And then I'll just organize it like with the head. Put it by like height. There we go. It's all like organized. And then the rest of this can be, let's see, I'll call this detail. That's good enough. That way I know where everything, like it's a little bit easier to tell, because it's not, you don't always get 100% from just looking at the thumbnails. Probably put that first. Yeah. There's some miscellaneous stuff down there. I suppose this could go in there. It's just like, I call this a nubbin. I don't know what that is. Yeah, so for now what I want to do is have the head and the body. Just so I can see that connection between the two, I'll just quickly hide the rest. What I might do as well is grab the, grab that and apply it to the body. Fill color. That's funny how it's not coming up with the same color. It's probably a different material actually. So if I send this to like fill object. The head I think is set as like clay or something right now. Yeah, that's why it's like that. I feel like that's not quite dark enough. Maybe like that color? It might be right. And then just fix this up. Use the light color. I don't know why I'm losing, like maybe I should be saving the document instead of saving the tool. I keep losing like colors and stuff. So who knows why that is. Then I can go back to the head and then sort of glue it to the body a bit more. Just needs to, you know, just try to avoid any super obvious gaps. So that's already looking better. There we go. Why isn't symmetry turned on? Keep doing that. Alright, so go back to, what's it? Deformation, mirror, I fixed it. Anyways, no big deal. So next part, I don't really need most of the tigers. I could turn off most of this stuff. So I'm only working on the body and head. I only need to see the body and head. Don't need the gauntlets of Ambroses or detail. All I want is the chess pieces. And I was trying to make it so that this kind of fits around the neck and hides the fact that he doesn't have an actual neck, like an actual connection there. That will straighten out once I extrude this, so I don't need to worry too much about that. But the first thing I'll try and do is make this sort of match up. That seems to be alright. Let's see. It's looking okay. I still wanted to match the curvature of the original thing. So it does have a fairly distinct curve. Again, I can adjust the neck to fit it if I need to. And then it's fairly convex or concave around this direction. And then, you know, it goes up and around the arm. So it may need like more detail. So like use like the Z modeler and insert an edge loop there. And just be like, yeah, whatever. So that, you know, it's got more shape. And if I want to, I can distribute the loops a bit more. So if I use, like if I grabbed the modeler, and then do like slide edge, or even just slide edge loop, and slide the whole edge loop, so that it's like distributed a bit more evenly. That's about right, I think, in terms of what the armor's doing. Yeah, if I want to, I can just... I kind of want this to match up as well. So that's something you probably got to think about. If I want this to go all the way to the side and essentially be flat, like that, I'm going to have to perhaps add some more detail around the side. So I'll do the same thing I did before, Z modeler, and do insert edge loop. Way there's a bit more detail available there. I can actually do this. it does add some more geometry here as well, so I have to kind of smooth it out a little bit. But it's looking alright so far. I have to remember, like, it's fairly smooth along here. Curves around. So that's because there's more detail there, I can kind of even that out. A little bit dynamic, you can see it's looking alright. And then that'll be straight down. The only thing is, it's like, there's definitely some details on here that I'm not seeing. You're like, you can, in the concept art, you can see quite a lot. You're like muscles, and I don't know, like, I could probably subdivide this to get that if I want to add the details. At the same time, I don't want to muck around with it too much topology wise, because right now it's looking pretty good. If I can pinch that. Yeah, it's just not enough there. I don't know if I apply, yeah, I don't want to apply it, that's gonna make things slightly more annoying. I don't know. The thing I can think of is just adding more edge loops. Or perhaps painting this later. So it has creases all around the edges, so you can't actually, like, if I were to use, let's see, Q mesh, oops, Q mesh, polygroup all, you get this. And then what you can do, oh yeah, looks reasonably good. And what you would want to do once you've done that is go to the edges and crease them. Crease, put another crease over here, and then when that's dynamic, you can see, like, you get those nice sharp corners right around the edges. But I'm not going to actually keep it Q-meshed, because before I do that, what I want to do is, I've got the actual shape that I want pretty much. I think the only thing it's missing is like a slight amount of the ribs, the McRibs. So what you would probably want to do is, you can see the shape there, and just pull it down a bit, and I don't know, like, put in that, just get that shape that's going on, you know, it's like that there, and there's definitely some ribs coming in. Maybe not as indented as that, but it's definitely something like that. Just bring in this. Maybe like, Let's pull that in a little bit. Something like that. And probably just save it before it gets to this point. So the other thing I want to do is, you can see it's got this gold trim on it on like all the edges. And I have an idea about how to do that. Sort of. What I want to do is like extrude these edges or inset them or something like that. So that I have this sort of thing. So what I could try and use inset with the Z modeler and see what it does. So like inset polygroup border, and then do like border only. I don't know. Let's see what it does. Okay, that's not what I want. Polygroup all. Again, not really. Island. Nope. I think border was right, but see, that's not right there. I guess that's what counts as the border. Because of this pole here, or whatever you want to call it, that's where I'm getting the issues. Now I want like to essentially create a border around everything, so it should be pretty easy to do on the top here, right? So if I wanted to create an additional edge loop, so if I go insert, yeah, like insert single edge loop, you can put one like here. And the idea is I could like paint this area, separate that out, and then extrude it and turn it into like the trim. I can do the same thing in this edge here, but I can't do the same thing here because it changes directions. So that's tricky. Maybe we can insert an edge. No, insert edge, edge loop. What about poly loop? What does that do? No, that's not what I want. Nope. Oh, kind of, but not really. Let's see. The closest I can get is insert single edge. Yeah, closest I can get is that. How do I do this? Because I do want it to actually work like that. So, derp. That's it. Sorry, I didn't see the fluffy. Looks like the beginning of the battle armor from Dragon Ball Z. How you doing? I'm just mucking around with this armor, which is super... it's not super hard or anything, but it's like, yeah. It's definitely not super easy, which is typical. Let's see, so slide, maybe slide this down a little bit. Although, I mean, it does probably need an extra edge loop here. Just because it should be roughly even density. What's this? Just tell the client you were inspired by DBZ and did some art challenges. Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, this one's just for practice. There's no client involved. But I know what you mean. Why is it smooth on such a high setting? Alright, let's smooth it up a little bit. Yeah, so I'm trying to do this gold trim. And I haven't, I can, there's like 3 edges where I can do this. And then what I actually want to do is inset the entire thing. But because the polygons change directions, it means that it doesn't really want to do that. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that without going crazy. I mean, it shouldn't be too hard, but like it's really easy to do on the top, but not the sides. In any other 3D program, I would be able to do this really quickly. But unfortunately, it's ZBrush, so, you know. It's an inset and the edge, right? And that, okay, that doesn't like that. How can I do this? Technically, I could cut in and do this manually, really. But that would leave an n-gon, which you can't have. The other way to do it would be to pull out these edges, which I also can't seem to do. I guess, what I could do is I could create another edge. Let's see, so I just like bridge, no. Can bridge 2 points. And that might work. Like that. That's like pretty ugly. But we'll see what happens if I try to insert an edge loop now. Oh, it worked. It's not great, but it's like the only way to do it, really. And then just slide like individual edges to get them, to get them where I want. This is a problem with like ZBrush's tools. They give you different effects depending on what you're using. So if you're using like if you click on an edge, you get a different effect for clicking on that than you do clicking on a vertex or clicking on a polygon, which doesn't sound too bad, except when you do that, you lose, like you just have to keep undoing because you just keep getting the same problems over and over again. And that's just annoying, I guess. That's a little bit wider. Alright, so then add some additional edges. So insert more edge loops, and then like one over here. Oh shit. One over here, and then one over here as well. So I've got edge loops running around the whole thing, and then I'm going to just slide a couple of edges around. Yep, just so I get like it in a reasonable spot. Because I want to try and make the trim roughly the same thickness on every side. It won't be exact, but it'll be okay. So like for instance, it's a bit thick there. What? Updated channel. Yeah, so yeah, I got off my ass and just added some details. So yeah. Anyway, so next thing I want to do is select polygon. Oh, like yeah, mask these polygons, like a single poly. The other option is, if I do like Control W, you can see that's what it does. So I go down and I might actually be able to go a bit faster than this, as it's masking like a single poly. But you could say poly group border, poly loop, maybe. Yeah, like that. Poly loop. Oh, no, don't do that. Okay, maybe I'll just go back to a single poly. And just be like, doop. Alright, so that's that. I'm going to Control W. So now I've basically got like a separate group for all of these. The other option is I can just go separate, split, unmasked points. Alright, now I've got like the trim is on a separate one now. So you can see like that. So then the idea is if I go QMesh, polygroup all, like that, that's the trim as its own thing. Reasonably well done. And then if I do dynamic, then it's all nice and smooth. To flip the images so it faces inboard or faces to the right would make a composition of description tad cleaner. Fair enough. That's pretty easy. Yeah, anyway, so now I've got this trim nice and smooth. And then with the front facing armor, I can also QMesh that. Although, if I go back, wait, no, that's not it. Document. Go back to this one. I might just be slightly more thick when I Q mesh it, so that when I do the chest armor, that it's roughly in line. So that's like that. Dynamic. Yeah. And just hide this for a sec. Then set the crease. I actually want to set the crease on the edges. So like that and that. Oops, no, like that. And then when you do dynamic on it. Oh, I lost all the edge creases, so I have to redo those, unfortunately. Maybe I can do like an edge loop crease. Once you finish, is it easy to animate it to move and stuff? No, it's not. So basically what happens is you make the whole model and you get it to like the shape you want and the colors and everything. And then you do a thing called retopologizing. And essentially that takes the you take it to another program, like this one called 3D Coat, and then you essentially rebuild the whole mesh like manually to make it like clean. And because when you animate stuff, the like stretching and deforming the polygons, they need to be very specifically like set up. It is awful, but that's just how it is. Like, if you want to stretch them and for it to not look bad, then you got to do that, unfortunately. It's just like how it is, I guess. There's some, you can cheat a little bit, like if it's a solid object you can probably get away with the automatic topology, like if it's not going to stretch or anything. Let's see, so I want to do just an edge, and then when we do dynamic on this, there we go, you can see it's maintained its nice corners. We stick the trim back on. Why wouldn't you just start building in that other program? Well, the whole point of sculpting is that it's much easier to get the forms. I don't have to worry about the topology and get the look right, to like the appeal and the shapes, forms, volumes. Plus, like I can, let's say we're doing a, like hypothetically, someone gives you this concept and you got to make the model for it. You probably take you like a very short amount of time to sculpt up like what it's going to look like when it's finished, even if it's not ready for animation. And then they can approve that concept, and then you can go into topology. If you did topology from the start, it's like you're building it out of toothpicks and paper mache instead of clay. So, and any time, like I've done it both ways, and this way is faster, like to get better results. If you model it from scratch, trying to get the topology right to begin with, any changes you want to make like that change the overall shape are going to be really hard to do. So like the retopology process, it's just like a mindless manual thing aside from getting the edge loops right, and it's way easier to do when you've got like this thing underneath that you can use, because when you're actually drawing it on, like when you retopologize it, you just like draw the polygons on the surface of the model, and you don't have to think about like the shape as much, you just where the lines go. So you're right, you can build it in the other program straight away. I just wouldn't do that. I don't think it, for certain things it might work well, for hard surface modeling definitely, but for making organic shapes, no, it's not so much. What the hell? Yeah, so that's what I would think, you know, that's what I would say basically. If you want to, you just do that because it saves you time in the long run. Yeah, like, because like I've been doing, like, this is my 4th session I think, but if I was just manually modeling this, just putting the polygons down, I don't think I'd be anywhere near as far along, and it would look a lot worse. So it's, yeah, it's like working with clay is easier when you want to just create something that looks good. That's my feeling about it. So anyway, I got to do the back as well. So that's going to be fun. And do the back the same way. Get it all kind of nice lined up. And the way I did the back is I actually just flipped the front around, which made it easier. And I'll do the same thing, keep the, hide the neckline. Then I'll change, like cut that edge loop in, put the edges in, separate it out, make the trim, extrude everything. And then there'll be, it doesn't have the detail that I want, but I'm pretty sure I can get that. I can get that in there somehow. And I think this goes, it's like very similar, it goes straight up around the arms and attaches. It'll be like slightly there, a little bit there, and a bit of room around the back. Yeah, I don't know, like this workflow I like a lot. It works well for me at least. That said, I haven't gone through the whole process yet, so you know, I could run into speed bumps when I actually get to the point where I'm going to take a model and completely retopologize it so that it fits, like that it works properly in a 3D program. So I could be completely wrong. Let's see, how did I do that on the front? I created a triangle somewhere. It's like here maybe. I don't think it needs to be quite as fancy around the back. Could you save the stream? Oh hey, Saphiragator. Yeah, I'm actually gonna upload all of these to YouTube. I'll put a link to my YouTube channel in my panels or my description or whatever. That'll be, yeah, what I do. Yeah, I'm definitely finding clothing to be pretty hard. Let's see. So go to ZModeler, and this is pretty crazy clothing at least in my opinion. 2 points. So go like that. You don't like triangles. You want to like avoid, but sometimes you just can't avoid them. They're just there, and you just oh I got a triangle now. Thank you, triangle. So is that what you mean, Zeph Furgetta? Just if I put it in like on YouTube, that'll be right, yeah. I've noticed that my chat isn't showing up on the stream. Is my chat showing up on the stream? Because I can't see it unless it's like, because I put it on there. I put it in the editor, but it's not showing up. There we go. I don't know why, but I wasn't seeing it in the alright, it disappears, I see. Oh, well there you go. I just want to make sure so when I save these out to YouTube that people can see it if they want to see who I'm talking to and what I'm responding to, so it's not like this doesn't seem like a one-sided conversation. Some Disney character. Yeah, well I might, there's a guy on ArtStation that does some really cool stuff. Let me just see if I can find it. And they're all very Disney-like. Let's see if I can find it. What was it called? I remember someone showing it to me. And I just want to find it though, because it's got some really cool stuff. Just gotta remember what it's called. Maybe I have my history somewhere. Man, ArtStation makes me feel so jealous. There's so many good artists on there. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, so there's this guy called Luigi, and he does some cool stuff. So I could do one of these concepts because like they're like fairly simple in the sense that like clean lines, like it's pretty obvious what's going on. And like as much as I like MZM, his concepts are very loose and painterly, so I find it like kind of hard to actually figure out what's going on in terms of like the forms and the shapes and the textures. So like, yeah, the Luigi guy, that's who I would grab some references from maybe next. I know I've got a friend who's streaming their sculpts, and they're going to do one of those next. Yeah, I'm going to definitely try something different after this guy, because it would be nice to do something a little bit easier. Let's see, so insert edge loop. So similar width as last time. Then put one on this side. Put one here. And another one here. And then I need to adjust, so slide these edges around so that it's all even. Even-ish. Not going to be perfect. Not so stylized. Well, it is and it isn't, I guess. Like, the texturing and details are quite detailed. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. So I did another one by the same guy before, which was it's in my, if you have a look down at the description, the channel description. So the Shiba soldier guy, like that was another one that he did, and I just used as a reference. So I get what you're saying, but he's like still has like very stylized proportions. So I think it's somewhere in between. You are right about that in that sense, though. Let's see, slide edge. And so my level of detail is definitely not quite up there with what the character has. But yeah, I would like to try something a bit more simplified. Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Well, I'm planning to put more details on, so have a look at the gauntlet and the van brace, and that I've actually done a lot of the detail, including even like the little bits and pieces. So I'm planning to do that. I'm planning to put in all those details, including these edges, and like you know how he's got like there's lines cutting through it. There's little doobies on top. It's got a hole. It's got straps. Does that sort of make sense? So yeah, I'm planning to put in those details. Whether I succeed is another question. Part of the tricky part of this is like it's thin but detailed, and it's hard. I find it hard to actually keep the simple topology so that I can build all these like easily build the gilded edges, and at the same time have like fairly detailed elements on the front. Alright, so let's see. What I do here is mask polys. Actually, yeah, I'll be back in a sec. I just got to check something. I'm back. Alright, so this process is almost done. Just gotta mask these polygons. I don't know if this is like the best process to use for this, but that's just what I'm doing. Should I just double check that this is... Alright, so it's sticky in there a little bit, so... It's kind of slightly annoying, but I don't think it ever mattered too much because it's going to be extruded. Then again, I should probably fix it. Let's see. Alright, so if I go dynamic, yeah, so part of the reason it's doing that is because there's no edge loop there. But I can just move. That's annoying. I'll just have to clear the mask and then fix it. Good, damn it. Alright. Oh, that was like a tiny little move and that fixed it apparently. Let's see, go back to ZModeler. I'll try and mask polyloop. Alright, so that doesn't work, so I have to go back to masking. Just go back down here and... Nope. There we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's alright. So, I'll do Control W to put this in its own group. Then, actually, just do that thing I did before, which is split unmasked. So now I've got that one in its own separate thing. I'll just hide the front chest piece and show this one so that when I do the Q, when I do the Q stuff, like Q meshing, it comes out the way I want. So do Q mesh, polygroup all, and then pull it out. I may have to adjust this a little bit so they all matches up. Yeah, so it's not quite thick enough. I think part of the problem is it's kind of floating on his body. It's not as tightly done as I did before. So I can kind of fix that a little bit by just dragging it down a little bit here on the shoulder. Unfortunately, that'll mean it won't match up 100% with the original, and I can't be bothered going back to fix that, so I'll just have to fudge it a little bit. Hi 97 Pi, how's it going? Let's see, so pull this up, then check it. Yeah, so that's about right. Matches up reasonably well. So I'll show the front part and then the back part. Go to the back and do the same thing. So pull this out and try and get like roughly the same that I'm getting there. So if I do dynamic, is it enough? If I take away that, it's not as thick. Might make it thicker. What I can do is I can deflate a little bit. Which will leave that a little bit, but I'm not too worried about it. So polygroup. Yeah, it's not perfect, but... And plus, I haven't put in the creases yet, so that's why it's not coming out nicely. So what I can do is go crease, edge loop complete. And that will do these. So now, when I subdiv this, it's almost complete. Yeah, so there you go. So now it's nice and pretty smooth. Put this back on, put this back on, and then dynamic this. So now we've got the trim. It all lines up, not 100% I suppose, but it lines up reasonably well. I mean, it's armor, it doesn't necessarily line up 100% everywhere. So I think that's good enough. And what I'll do later is put on, make some holes for this. Like I won't actually cut holes in it, I'll just like make a hole, like shape, and then stick it on there, and then like on both the front and the back, and then make a rope that pulls it together on both sides. So there'll be like 2 on the side, there'll be 1 on the top here, and that will be that detailing. I'll probably subdivide this a couple times, then I'll sculpt in some of those armor details, and then I might use the nano mesh stuff, or even just manually place a bunch of the details that go both along the top here and just over this whole area, and then that'll be the chest piece. And then I gotta do this gigantic belt buckle thing and the detailing on that. And I mean, I also got this, he has like a fluffy undercoat, almost like material that comes out of the sides. No idea how I'm going to do that. I may just, yeah, I mean, it looks like it's actually essentially what's coming, like it's kind of the same material that's in the middle of the armor plate that it's like pinched in there. But you know, I'm not 100% sure. So a lot of work to go still. This is just like, yeah. I mean, I have a fair bit done, but yeah, it's like it's a very detailed model. I gotta put like studs, which are just, I guess they're just like spheres really. So those would be too hard, like a couple studs on either side. There's these little, I'm not sure what you'd call them, they're like medallions. Yeah, I mean, the question is what to do next, I suppose. Well, I'm happy with how the armor is turning out so far. I mean, it's not too bad. So what I could probably do is you could create a cylinder. Oh, also I'm getting hosted. And now hosting you for up to 3 viewers. Cool. A double raid, this is interesting. So we got... Wait, so someone's raiding Corner, who's then hosting me. What? Your lucky day. Alright, cool. Interesting. Let's see, turn on local symmetry. Hello. How's it going? Yeah, like 2 seconds ago, I was watching. What's going on? Yeah, that's weird. How does it all happen? It's like the most people I've had view my channel. Oh, anyway, for anyone who is just joining us, I'm working on this this concept by MZM, who's on ArtStation, and it's like this, tiger thing, tiger dude, evil tiger dude probably, based on what I can tell. And it's like the fourth stream with this guy, and I'm just working on the armor. So I just finished up creating the trim for the armor, and now I'm just like trying to do these straps that presumably hold the armor in place. So you can't really see it on the side, but I think there's 2 straps there. There doesn't appear to be any particular holes. Maybe it just goes straight in. I don't know. And I got these fan brace things, which I'm working on. Wait, 1 second. Dog's barking. Alright, I'm back. Yep. Yeah, I think I've kind of grossly underestimated how complicated this thing is. Especially with all the armor and stuff. But I guess I'll get there eventually. Getting a bit more familiar with the Z modeler. Well, I'm doing well. I don't know about everyone else. Let's see, inset poly group border maybe. Yeah, it is. Well, it's basically all of their modeling, so polygroup. I would have thought that would work, but maybe not. Because I'm trying it, it's just like, where is it? Come on. Insert each insert region. That's what I want, right? Doesn't seem to work. So no one wants to talk to me. Yeah, what is it, you guys? Come on. Don't be shy. See, that works. Why does this thing not work? It's got some weird like, maybe it's because of these, I don't know, something. Let's see, redo. Let's see, maybe if I do inset poly edge loop complete inset region. That's one way to do it. Maybe it's because it's on dynamic, I'm not seeing something. Well, I should definitely split this out anyway. Split unmasked points. I can stay on dynamic. Everyone's leaving. That's not what I want. Yeah. Maybe there's a way to do it, maybe there isn't. Yeah. You do you, Raid. I don't know, man. Anyway. I just want to put a hole in this thing. But ZModeler doesn't really want to. Maybe Bevel will let me do it. So that bevel's a poly, and I could bevel polygroup border. Huh. Yeah, I think it's got something to do with the quad layout on this thing. It's like, what's going on there? If I just Q-mesh polygroup border, does that do anything? No, that doesn't. It's like, doesn't, I guess it doesn't count as a border. Yeah. Huh, that's weird. Oh, that could work. And just do that, and then just like scale the whole thing down. And then if I Q-mesh the island, maybe. No. Q-mesh the poly group. Hey, there we go. There eventually. So now I've got one of these things. And maybe, oop, I didn't want to do that. So I probably move it up. Yeah, that looks alright. Yeah, eventually. It's like everybody's just waiting. It's like, come on, man, you just fucking make a hole. It's just a hole. just like put one on the other side somewhere, roughly the same position. I'm sure that's where, I'm sure it's supposed to be there. There we go. Yeah, roughly. Doesn't have to be as far up or far down, it's like, that doesn't matter. Then I gotta make some kind of rope thing. And that goes in there. Which is, might be a job for the curve thing. So just be like, take a, don't know if I should, didn't really think I should be using a sphere, but be like, actually, let's be like A, and then this will look pretty weird to begin with. No, that's not it. And then like, flatten it out. Then separate that one out, or split my last points. Then I don't know, probably ZBrush that to make it not 14,000 polygons, so probably only 5,000. 5,000 is probably way too many anyway. Yeah, that's way too many. Let's see, maybe 2,000. That's even then, that's probably too many. Just go down to 1. Yeah, it looks alright. Alright, so be like, yeah, it's pretty thick looking. And you can do the little bend curve thing. And there's a way of adjusting this curve resolution. Curve, symmetrical, smooth, axis. That should be okay. So what I do is like that goes in there, then this goes like that. And I learned this trick from Corner as well. She's so helpful. Just stick it in there. So the same thing is this will go inside and then have one stick all the way like right next to it so that you get this nice effect where it's just kind of going in there. Which is very handy. And then I can just lay this on top of the armor so it looks like it's got tension. We just like adjust it so that that lines up a bit nicer. Oops. Apparently you can scale it and stuff as well. That's a lot easier than trying to model this by hand. And you could do this with a more complex model as well. You could have like an actual braid or rope model. Actually, and then I might just do that. You start with less dots and you get a nice clean curve, and you add dots if you need more bendy points. Fair enough. Makes sense. And then what we'll probably do is like deflate this thing once I'm done so that it's like not as fat. They could probably, looks like that doesn't actually go all the way in properly as well. That's fine. Oops. Yeah, it's working out okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's probably like a lot less fiddly if you do it that way. Apparently this is scale, so if you want, technically you can scale it down. That's not a bad idea. Then if I want, I can kind of scale it up so that it fits in the hole, but then scale down the intermediate points so that it looks a bit leaner. Yeah, that looks alright. And I can just accept that. Just accept it. And apparently I've this is not quite right. Let's see. Actually, I want to move both of these at once just in case. So. Oh yes, they're both selected. Well, that's easy enough. Just go mask lasso. Next time. No, I don't want to do that. Oh wait, these are all. Oh, okay, I get it. I just need to adjust this slightly because it seems to be not actually attached to the surface. Yeah, that'll do. Alright, so got those straps. That works. Yeah, and then I'd probably do another couple on the sides. Just look like they're maybe a bit smaller. So I could probably copy more of these little hole things and just shrink them down and stick them on the sides. Maybe carve in some details on this chest piece as well. So chest piece, I could apply the subdivision level. I was going to try and get the topology to give me exactly that shape, but I just couldn't really work it. It's kind of like this. For some reason the lighting makes it look a bit different though. Pinchy. I mean, there's definitely got to be a peak and a valley. Kind of like that. And then it, it looks like it's got like almost abs. It's like abs. Maybe just a line here. Yeah, and then I think a couple of these lines. It's kind of hard to see, so I might just change it to modeling clay. So kind of see what's going on. And it's like not a huge amount of detail in here at the moment, so I might also just put a line there as well. Let's go like this. Seems alright. It's pretty close to what it should be, I guess. So the muscles. And then maybe at an even higher level of subdivision I'll do the next lot of details, which is actually like indentations in the armor itself, like actual cuts in it. And these bits as well should probably be made out of gold or something. Yeah, gold. Oh, that looks cool actually. So that would be not necessarily the actual, like the other bits of it, the just this. Let's see, so MRGB. So it should be on this part and this part to fill object, as well as these ropes for some reason for nice gold, and these little things. And this is just the ZBrush gold, so it doesn't mean that everything has to be like that. And the back of the chest piece, I think we'll just leave that as clay. Figure out what that's going to be later. Let's see, what else we got? Well, the van braces and stuff don't need to be gold because they're a different color. I think I've got these masks, that's why I'm not getting them all gold. That's weird. RGB, because I didn't set it to gold, that's why. That's kind of cool though. Let's see, go back to clay. Yeah, and then I'm going to stencil that Chanel logo on there at some point. And then put little detail blobs on there. I think I've scared everybody off. Alright, well thanks. Could do the ropes around the side. That's probably the next bit. Or I could try to do the pants. They'll look really hard. I don't know where to start. We could do that big badge thing. Start with a cylinder maybe. Start just like, yeah. And then there's like a whole notch cut out of it, which is interesting. It definitely is like the center of it, everything. Yeah. Alright. I suppose I should just bite the bullet and get this going. Alright. I think I got an idea. So I'll start off, probably build this off the body to begin with. Start off with this. Doesn't look suspicious at all. Oh man. God damn it. And then separate. Probably squish that. This is not. This is definitely. I think doesn't look straight. Yeah, it definitely doesn't look straight for some reason. Let's see, maybe. No, mirror and weld. Yeah, that's what I thought. Kind of what I want though. So if I scale this down, and then let's see, I did this before where it was Q meshing polyloop, I think. Polyloop? No, that doesn't do what I want. Maybe I should just pull this in. Then we just mirror and weld. Oh, that's making it worse. Alright, maybe if I turn off symmetry and move it that way. Still doing it. Why are you being a pain? somehow this is just going to be really tricky. Alright, and then just QMesh. No, wait. QMesh the poly group. It kind of does what I want. Let's do it from both sides at once, which I don't really want. So maybe try the border. No. Inner. No. Island. Apparently that works. The only problem with this is I actually want to cut out some of these polygons. So what I could do is just delete some. Let's try to delete single polys. Let's see, just hide the body. And the chest piece. Alright, there we go. So delete those. Show back faces. Double, there we go. Then maybe bridge edge, something. Bridge edges. There we go. That wasn't as hard as I thought. So now I have that little notch thing that I wanted. And then you can just like bring this in. So I can have like essentially the notch shape that it has. There we go. Everyone's gone very quiet. Either I'm incredibly boring or everyone's busy. Alright, so if I insert that, I'll get the kind of shape that we want. Which is kind of this like iris eyeball shape. Maybe I should just delete the let's see, maybe I can do like delete hidden, and then what I want to do is get rid of that back face. Just so like auto groups. Delete hidden. There we go. So I'll just work with this flat thing instead of trying to do the 3D elements of it. So when I'll be able to properly cut out this notch, put in the various layers, do what I want. Seems alright. And there's like an inner thing as well, so probably take that into account. It's like, I don't know what it is, but it's in there. It's like this shape. Like shapes within shapes within shapes. And then what you want to do is probably like mask by a single poly, and just be like ding 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 ding. Separate that out, and then do Q mesh polygroup all. Nope. Wait, no. Maybe island. Interesting. If I do it from the back. Oh yeah, that doesn't work. Oh, whatever. So like that. Then I'll just auto groups this and then do my masking single poly thing again and just do that. So now I should be able to inset that by using the Q mesh thing and just do it on polygroup all. That's weird. It seems like not everything's attached properly. Maybe I should inset this first. Inset. That doesn't work very well. Okay, other option is to just what do I call it? I can Q mesh this. Right, so I should, oh okay, alright. So mask these. I can do, okay, it's still not working. Polygroup. There we go. So that's kind of what we were looking for. And then if I want to use dynamic, let's have to like muck around with the creases a bit. Crease, oh wait, like creasy edge. So like crease there. Probably don't need a crease there. Yeah, crease there, maybe. So we get this kind of shape. Probably anything is slide some edge loops. So that I can get this shape. Maybe create an edge loop. Turn off dynamic for a sec. The only problem is, yeah, it's like, it's not pointy enough, I suppose. And losing the shape a little bit, which is kind of annoying, but whatever. Yeah. Boop, boop. I could try putting a crease there, but it's going to probably look a bit funny. So if I put a crease right there, let's see, ZModeler. Oh yeah, that actually works. It's kind of got the effect I wanted. Alright, so it's not perfect, but it's okay. So I don't mind. We're all okay. And then there's like some internal shape, like I was talking about before. So I could probably just extrude that. Do a similar thing that I've been doing before, which is take the ZModeler and mask something and go like, yeah, and then, you know, put that in a separate thing and then extrude that out. Oh, that's cool, it actually attaches to it like that. Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted. And then I'll just crease it up a bit. I want to crease the crease an edge. Be like that maybe. Yeah, and this thing's a little bit different as well because it like bridges there. So what I would have to do is use bridge polys, bridge 2 polys, and go like that one and that one, and then uncrease the edge. Maybe crease this edge. Maybe crease this edge. It's pretty close. Anything I want to do maybe is split this edge here and put a crease there, and then that'll give it the pointiness. Man, things like a bit more complicated than I kind of anticipated. Maybe crease this edge as well. Yeah, that's pretty close. Looks like it's a bit unhappy. Oops, around there. Doop. Yeah, not exactly perfect. Whoops. That was a bit of a mistake. Anyway, not too bad. And I think one of the other things I could do is let's see. So like mask this again, and then just extrude it one more time. Yeah, so then when you do that, you essentially get this. Ooh. Why is it doing that? Let's see, probably uncrease that. Then crease that. Oops, I only want to crease one bit. Yeah, there we go. Roughly, still a few little bits and pieces. Ooh. Thanks for the follow, Reginald the Fool. What's going on there? I think it's probably because I need to like crease this. Ah, there we go. Yeah. It's a pretty complex shape, this thing. Oh, there's still some more problems here. So I'm missing a crease here. And one over here. Probably put like one over here as well. There we go. I think that'll do it. Then I can probably grab, like, pull out. There's like these two bits here on this above, which are I don't know, just like attached to it somehow. And then underneath, I suppose, I do the other big piece of metal, and that's kind of like the centerpiece. So then everything else is somehow attached to that thing. It's like a big belt buckle. So the bits that go over the legs, the leg armor, and the boots, and the loincloth thing, all kind of attaches at that point. Alright. I'm gonna grab something to eat, and then I'll be back and we'll do some more on it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you around if you're still here. Beep boop. There we go. I'm back. Now that I've refueled. Let's see. Turn off some of these details I don't need. Let's just be headless with a nose apparently. Put this in the detail folder. Yeah, so that's a good idea. Make this thinner. That's weird how it does that. Maybe it's because LSIM's turned on. Huh. Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay, so thinking about this. Let's see, scaling. Maybe. Oh, come on. If I look at it from this angle, it's definitely not as big. Kind of like that, yeah. It's probably not as thick either. It's a bit wrong. It's being a bit squished. Took you long enough. Already unsubbed. Ha, joke's on you. You can't subscribe. I don't have affiliate status. Oh, makes me sad. Blurg. Let's see, what do we got here? Yeah, turn these guys off. Definitely something going on here. It's like it looks right and wrong at the same time. How is that possible? Why? Anyway, let's see. If I just dynamic. Yeah, so I've obviously mucked up some of the geometry. But it's not too bad. Yeah, it's like, it looks alright now. Wait, it looks like shit. Wait. This artist loves his ambiguous details. It's like, hey, what is that? What is that thing? I don't know, but it looks cool. Yeah, I might even like make this a single object, and just because otherwise the details will be floating. So I'll do like go to the modeler and mask out some of these polygons. It's about right, and then QMesh polygroup. You like that. So that gives you haha. So every time you do that, it looks like it counts as a new polygroup. What I could do is like pull this out all the way. So it's about how far it will be for the final shape. If I think about it. Because because it just follows it along the contour. Oh, so now you're going. Yeah. It's about 2 levels of thickness, maybe a little bit extra because of the gap. Then let's see. So insert a edge loop, and that's where it starts. Apparently it wants to like insert the edge loop weirdly. Maybe just poly loop. Can I do that? No, apparently not. Just an edge loop partial maybe. It's not really what I wanted. Just an edge loop. So weird. You're like, why is it putting it there? Oh, there we go. So like one there, and then like one there. And then you can do hue mesh, poly loop, like that. And then you do poly loop like that. And you've got the things, whatever you want to call them. It's similar to what they had there. Dynamic, and then to get these nice things, like some of these nice things, I gotta chuck in a bunch of creases. I think there are mostly creases where I need them. Just a few places where they're not. So, for instance, so crease edge loop. Like that. Like that. Then just go back to creasing a regular edge. And then I think one more edge loop. That. Kinda looks alright. Then when we go here, so we turn off that one. Yeah. Yeah, that was just like you can't seem to get it to go in the right direction with ZBrush because the camera is so weird. There we go. And technically I'm missing some stuff here. So crease that. No. I'll crease a single edge. Let's do this and this one, and then this one, and little hidey hole one over here. So now when I do dynamic, yeah, there we go. Look at that. Oh, wasn't so pretty. And that's his weird belt thing. Put the body back on so I can kind of see where it goes. It's still too big, I think. So you could technically shrink it a little. Be right back. See. Okay. Probably like, it's hard to gauge how big this thing should be. So we're gonna be closer to the body. Probably like tilted down a little bit. Then there's some more stuff to put in here. So we've got like what looks like a big metal belt that goes around the whole back. So I'll probably draw that on using the what do you call it? Using the good old topology brush. Now I've got these curved plates. What do you want, Doug? Doug's trying to like eat something off the floor. I don't know what it is. Alright, just turn the microphone off for a sec because I was eating a chocolate bar. So I'm still hungry. Alright, so gonna layer this some more things on there. Let's see. Let's do like this. Make this belt thing. Must be that big, I guess. Move it around. It's got to go all the way from here somehow. And then obviously it's got to have creases. It's not, what do you call it? It's not round on the ends or anything. I mean, so this thing goes like this behind, so it somehow, God knows how, attaches to this belt buckle, and then that's it for that thing. Whatever it's doing that. Got a slight topological move. Just adjust this. And I'll have to do probably some kind of nanomesh thing later to do little studs. Or I could just manually put them in there. Either way, I don't mind. Whatever works out easier, I suppose. Down to 3 viewers. It's alright. I'm still having fun. Go little cat man. Must be painful wearing all this like metal shit just like directly against your body. I guess he's got like that fairy waistcoat thing going on. Whatever it is. I'll probably separate this out as well, so this will be a separate subtool among the other many subtools. To prevent me from accidentally editing the wrong thing. So I'll just do that now. Split and mask. So there it is. Dynamic looks alright. Transparency. Yeah. So now I've got that. The other thing I want to do is the flared out like fairy collar thing. So probably just hide this for now. And draw it out with the topo brush. Maybe just hide that thing. So I don't think it needs to go all the way around because it doesn't appear to do that. This will go all the way around the back. Boop. And then probably the main mistake I actually, yeah, I'll go and do this again, is to make sure that when I draw these lines that I intersect them so that I get like the proper geometry. I don't know how long this thing should be. It's definitely going to sit underneath the belt and pop out, and then technically there's like a solid plate that comes out underneath, and that's going to be probably its own thing. Oops. So this will be separate, just so it's easy to work with. So we see it don't work properly. Well, that's fun. There we go. So I figure with this thing, that what it'll do, it's more organic than the other stuff. So, and the most swing is it'll pinch under the belt. So I'll probably show the belt again. And then put that on transparent. So that I can kind of like shape this so that it lives under the belt. It comes out. Again, I'll separate this out, so split on mask points, grab the this belt, under belt, whatever you want to call it. And it's quite thick, that's alright. And it'll go underneath, because I'm going to flatten it out, and I'll probably like Z-remesh or Dynamesh it somehow. Just like pull that in. What are you doing, Tilly? My dog keeps trying to bug me. It's like, why don't you pay attention to me? Why not me? I'm just like, sorry, doggy. I'm just busy at the moment. And in you go. Alright, so if we turn off transparency, we can see this thing popping out the top. Not too bad. Yeah, so this is gonna be more. This I think is gonna be like more sculpted, I think. So what I might do is I'm actually gonna kind of, let's see, maybe if I Dynamesh it at a lower resolution, kind of make it fluffy. Just like smooth it a little bit. Then maybe, you know, because it's kind of puffy at the top, just so I can inflate it a little bit. Smooth a little bit and then puff it out. Yep, so then that's kind of like puffing out, and then just Z-remesh that with, I don't know, like, let's try 5,000 to begin with. Probably could do with less than that, so maybe use 3. It's not too bad. And then I'll just smooth it out a bit more, get rid of some of those divots. And smooth that out a bit. Alright, so then when I do all this together, like, I'm going to probably add some more detail to that at some point, but that's just the thing that pops out, basically. So it's not that big a deal. So we've got this belt thing, we've got the buckle, all together, so we get all that. So all the layers of stuff. And the buckle itself could be like that, and this belt thing can also be. I mean, this is already dynamic, I think, yeah. But that can be applied once it's ready. And then there's more there's more. So there's the little things on the legs. There's that big thing on the bottom of the buckle that comes out and kind of has its own shape, which is fine. I'm probably just going to extrude that out of the existing stuff. So I'm slowly getting there. So if we look at it all together, chest armor, I've got that, I've got that. I've got this and the ropes, and with the back. So armor wise, it's looking okay. Ah yes, now I've just noticed this fluffy stuff, which is fine. What I might do is this like fluffy stuff. I'm just going to, let's see, turn off Dynamesh. I'm gonna have to like pull it out a little bit so that it's kind of coming out on its own, and then so that it's kind of in front of. Turn up the smooth intensity. So it'll go in front of the armor. Yeah, so like that, smooth it out. So I'll probably inflate the edge here more, so I get more volume out of it. Like that, and blah blah blah. There we go. Then take that and probably make this, make this thing, we can just use skin shade and make it white. Fill object. And the belt buckle itself, we make that a different material, because that's darker. So what would I make that? The material, maybe a matte cap gorilla. Is that right? Metal? Apparently that's a thing. That's too reflective. Chrome, yeah. Maybe I should just stick to matte cat metal. I'll just fill it for now. So I've got the gold, so I can see this metal stuff. Yeah, anyway. I think it's definitely getting there. So much stuff, so much detail in this model. I'm sure there's like, obviously there's other models are far more detailed than this, but I feel like this is probably my most detailed one, at least in terms of armor and stuff that I've done so far. Let's just get on with it. So next part would be, I reckon, ZModeler. So I want the bottom half to come out. Probably just mask some polys like that. Control W. And then hue mesh poly group. So we can do like this. Probably actually just hue mesh it like that. And then do it again. Oh, I can't do it again because it's already combined it with another poly group for some reason. And by the looks of it, I've got to fix some creases on it, which I might as well do now before it gets a bit unwieldy. So I turn off the sub D. Crease edge. It's really hard to see now. Maybe just fill this back with the modeling clay. Fill. Probably need to crease that. That's what's making it look weird. There we go, dynamic. Yeah, whatever, that's fine. And then I'll do another one, pull it out like that. And then probably do an inset poly loop. So what that'll do is that'll give me the shape. Alright, so hue mesh, inset, poly loop. Oh wait, maybe not that. Maybe it's hue mesh poly loop. Nope. Oh wait. Maybe I can slide this edge first. Yeah, that'll have to do. And then use move with topology turned on. It's like fix some of these points. And fix some of these edges as well. Crease, turn off crease. Oop. Oops. Maybe just move some of these down a little bit. There. I probably have to like pull out this whole thing as well. So it's like dynamics like that, and then just like probably let's see, crease edge, yeah, like that. There we go. So it's roughly correct, but it's, I want to pull out this whole thing, which is a bit of a pain to do with the move brush. I don't want to do that. Maybe I can inflate this edge. So just be like, grab this. Be like inflate poly, like polygroup border maybe. Oh, there we go. And do that a bit more. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Anyway, there we go. Shape's a bit off, but whatever. It's pretty close to what it's supposed to be. Yeah. Cool. Alright, so we got the... I knew this bit was going to be a fair bit of work, but it looks like it's alright. And that furry bit will be... I'll be doing some work on that later where I try and make it... somehow make it look kind of fluffy, even though it's made out of solid chunks. And then I go do those leg armor, and then the loincloth, which has like a fair bit of detail, and it has those little mini that fabric, whatever it is. That shouldn't be too hard. I can kind of sculpt something that looks about right. So I'll be doing the same technique for the leg coverings as I did for the vambrace attachments, which are here. So this is part of the gauntlets, and I use nano mesh with a special model that I made to kind of approximate these little, kind of look like styrofoam peanuts. so that all goes together. The only thing I probably say is about this whole thing, like, that I might do is grab the lasso and this might seem a bit weird, but it's curved, right? So what I want to do is kind of pull it out. It's very, the way they'll do this is to like use a lasso brush. Do that, invert it, grab this, pull forward, then reset the mask again, and then do one in the middle. And then do that, and then do that. So it has a bit of a curve to it now. And then one more, but what I might do instead is do like that, and leave it, right? And then do that, and then maybe rotate it a little bit. Yeah, so it's curved. It's not totally flat, so I don't feel like it is. I have to make some minor adjustments as well, especially on this bottom bit. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close approximation to what the armor has. Overall, everything's kind of fitting in. Only thing I'd probably say is this metal buckle belt thing probably needs to go behind. See ya. Just saying goodbye to someone who's leaving. Alright, so I haven't saved this in a while. It's a bit scary. Make sure it's saved. Otherwise, who knows what could happen. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with how it's going so far. Any thoughts? Any opinions? Anyone watching? I know it says there's 4 viewers, but I have no idea if people are actually watching. If it's just in the background somewhere. The sound off. Just like, can't hear you, buddy. Alright, so whack his body back on. So now I can draw out the these little side things. What do you want to call them? Let's see. So topology. Let's be like, eh. They kind of flare out a bit. Be careful, sometimes you draw over like something in the foreground. Or apparently you don't have an actual corner in your topology brush edge or whatever. Or it just does that and it just doesn't count for some reason. Don't know why. Oh, and then it just randomly does that for no reason. Apparently. Alright, so I want at least a few. Okay. Okay, one in the middle maybe? Alright. I can always add more edge loops. I'll make this thin because it doesn't need to be super thick. At the same time, like, you don't always actually want to make these have any thickness whatsoever. So what you can do, if you have a look at the polygroups, actually just like separate this. You can just like hide, oh wait, just turn that off, hide like I think I'm hiding like the front faces. Let's move these out for a sec. I want to hide everything except for the front face. Alright, so then that's the front, and then I can just like do delete hidden, and then I've just got this. And then I can kind of use the Z modeler to do a few things. I can slide the edge loops around, insert new edge loops. No, I didn't want to do that. I always get that wrong. I always do inset instead of insert for some reason. Then I can just kind of move these around until I get roughly the shape that I want. That matches the reference. So it kind of curves around the legs, and then, you know, so I can get it the way I want it. So I think this doesn't go all the way to the knee, but it does wrap around the side here. So it's going to be like at least in line with the edge here, where the belt meets the belt buckle, and then continue past the belt buckle itself. I'm calling it belt buckle because God knows, I don't know what it is, but it's definitely not. It's not anything I've seen before. Yeah, so you do something like this. Have it curve around, and try and keep it like roughly, like, it's not straight lines, but like gentle curves. And then I'll check it, like subdivide it and check that as well. Working this way is going to be better than trying to thicken it immediately, because it's just gonna make it harder to actually like manipulate it. And I'll leave some room underneath as well, because it's got like a multiple layers. And then I'll add extra edge loops when well, what I'll probably do is I will extrude it, and then I will do some other stuff with it to get the border. And then once I've got the border, I'll inset into the middle, and then I'll separate and copy a bit, and then I'll use that for the nano mesh for the little styrofoam things. And that will give me the shape. So I'm extruding outwards, so like probably stick this under the belt almost. so that when it comes out, it's like curved, but it's still fairly rigid. So it's like it doesn't completely hug the body. But it's definitely shaped in such a way that it's going to do something like similar. Ew, okay. It's weird I can't seem to... Maybe I should turn on lazy mouse. Does that help? Not really. Alright, so now I've got the general shape, although that's still being a pain. Try and keep that like that. So go around the side here. I guess it should extend to the back a little bit. And now I just realized, like, I don't actually know what's behind him. Like, right now, if I model everything that I can see, he's gonna just, like, have... his butt's just gonna be sitting there. I have no idea. I think it'll probably be similar to this. I'll do another one of these side things, but what I'll do is make a fairly big one that goes around the back. That'll be his little butt skirt, because otherwise it's gonna look weird. But yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. That's one of the problems of working with a random piece of concept art, is you can just have like no idea what's supposed to be on the other side of things. It's just there. Alright, so that's reasonably good. Now I can subdivide that. Not subdivide, well if I do subdivide we'll get that. And then when I thicken it I can, yeah, so I go here and go ZModeler ZBrush, or QMesh, sorry, and do polygroup all. And then when you do that, it's curved. But I'm looking to, instead of making it curve like that, what should I want to do? I'll leave it curving at the top because I actually want it to fit more snugly. But down the bottom, well, there's a few options here. Like either I can just oops, I didn't mean to dynamesh that. I can either curve it. See, if you have a look at what I did with these, I actually inserted some more edge loops after I inset it. So what I'll probably do is insert it, then add some extra edge loops. So if we have a look here, what you can do, you can say inset, okay, inset polygroup. Okay, now it's being a pain in the ass. Alright, insert polygroup border, and you say region, center, and border. So when you do that, for some reason I'm getting that. That's interesting. It's probably because I've got this pretty way to do this. So insert region, center and borders, polygroup, island. There's a way around this. All I need to do is just mask out these polygons. Assign a new thing, and then just when I do insert, and I'll just use polygroup all. Yeah, that's better. See, like that. And then also what I'll do is I'll slide the edge here, because let's see, slide edge loop partial, I think. No, I don't get much of a choice apparently. Alright, I'll just eyeball this, so just do like this and this. Because I want to have, if you have a look at the actual concept art, it's like, goes up higher on this side. I'm assuming to make room for the to put in the screws to hold in the thing that goes underneath it. So then once we've done this, then we can do QMesh polygroup all and like dig that in there. And if we do dynamic, you can see it's like really round. What I want to do is insert, let's see, how do I do this? I did this before fairly easily. I think what I did before was I inserted some edge loops. Like I think I did like one here, and then when you do dynamic you get more of a thick end. But I can make that a little bit better by just moving these in more. Yeah, so you get like that. And then I can leave it round at the top if I want, or I can add another one so I can go like that. You can see it becomes square. Yeah, so like that. And if I want, I can also just inset this again. Insert polygroup all, because then if I do that, it kind of makes the mesh a bit sharper. Yeah, so yeah, so getting a lot of that. Hey, so that armor's starting to look pretty nice. Yeah, still a lot of details to go, but it's getting there. Alright, I think that's it. That's going to be it for me today. I'm getting a bit tired. But I think got pretty far. There's a lot of detail in here. So I'll just chuck his head back on. It's kind of funny without the actual head on there. Yeah, he looks a bit friendly now. I'm gonna definitely like make him look more mean to match the concept. He's definitely a mean guy, mean boy. Look at him. So not quite right yet, but you know, I'm still working on it. A lot of that has to do with the paint as well. He has like an angry eyebrow kind of thing going. Once I subdivide that more, I'll add some eyelashes, just like a thick black thing. And I'm gonna kind of squish his head so it's pointier on the top, which I think makes him gives him a bit more of a menacing look. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it's turning out so far. It's definitely a lot of the look of is that lower part where it's got like the loincloth and all of the leg armor and all that stuff. That definitely increases the menacingness of it. You know, I may move this belt buckle forward a bit and then stretch out these leg plates, what do you want to call them, so that they cover the front more, because it seems to be, even though it doesn't look like it, they do cover the front. So if you went down to where these are, there we go, in the wrong one. So I've got to rename some, like start naming these again, because already yeah, already like kind of losing track of them again. So I could do this to make it kind of match the concept art a bit more. This means I'm going to have to adjust. So I'll probably stretch them out a bit so they go all the way around. Move this the belt buckle forward a bit so that it doesn't get in the way. That kind of thing. So it means it leans forward a bit, which is not kind of not what I was expecting, but there you go. So it'd be more like that, I think, and then just make that bigger, or even just like duplicate these and have another set of them. I don't know, but I'm not sure if that'll look quite right. But yeah, so that's it for today. This is been part 4, I think. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Not sure if I'll be on tomorrow. I might. We'll see how I feel about it. But yeah, and feel free to drop me any questions you've got if you want to know a particular process. I'll be putting all of the whole series on YouTube, and I'll put a link to it to my channel, so you guys will be able to check it out when it's all done. If you want to go back and see how I did something in particular. But yeah, that's it for now. All right, see you later.